This is going to blow your mind. In ancient civilizations, a beverage emerged, captivating emperors and inspiring legends. Tea, with its delicate aroma and invigorating properties, has journeyed through millennia. From China's misty mountains to London's bustling streets, tea has left an indelible mark. Its story blends myth and reality, a testament to this profound elixir. Join us as we explore tea's fascinating history, steeped in ancient wisdom and cultural exchange. This is going to blow your mind. From this chance encounter, tea's journey began, spreading through China. Intrigued, he took a sip and felt a surge of energy. A leaf from a nearby tea tree fell into his pot. One legend transports us to 2737 BCE, where Emperor Shen Nong discovered tea's properties. It is here, amidst the verdant hills and misty mountains, that tea first emerged. Imagine ancient China, a land of emperors and scholars. Our journey begins in the Far East, where legends abound regarding tea's serendipitous discovery. I bet you didn't know how tea became more than just a beverage in the East. As tea's popularity spread throughout the East, it became more than just a beverage. It evolved into a symbol of cultural identity, a catalyst for social gatherings, and a source of artistic inspiration. In China, tea houses sprang up, offering respite from the bustling streets and providing spaces for contemplation and conversation. Tea ceremonies emerged, transforming the simple act of preparing and serving tea into an elaborate ritual infused with symbolism and grace. These ceremonies, often held in serene gardens or specially designed tea rooms, emphasized harmony, respect, and the appreciation for the present moment. Meanwhile, in Japan, tea found a unique expression in the form of the Japanese tea ceremony, known as chanoyu. Influenced by Zen Buddhism, chanoyu emphasizes simplicity, austerity, and the pursuit of spiritual enlightenment through the mindful preparation and consumption of tea. The journey of tea from humble leaf to global phenomenon is a testament to its enduring appeal and its ability to transcend cultural boundaries. From its ancient origins in the Far East to its eventual arrival in the West, tea has captivated hearts and minds, leaving an indelible mark on history and shaping the way we experience the world today. As we continue our exploration, we will witness how tea's journey intertwined with global trade, political upheaval, and the rise and fall of empires. From the bustling tea houses of Tang Dynasty China to the elegant tea parties of Victorian England, we will uncover the fascinating ways in which tea has shaped societies, fueled revolutions, and continues to captivate us with every sip. Why are there not more people talking about the legendary origins of tea? The year is 2737 BCE. Emperor Shen Nong A skilled herbalist, he documented the effects of various herbs. From a wild tea tree fell into boiling water. The leaf released its essence, infusing the water with a delicate aroma. I don't think people understand the divine origins of tea in Chinese mythology. Tea's divine origins in Chinese mythology. The aroma, carried by the wind, reached the emperor, captivating his senses. Curiosity piqued, he lifted the pot, inhaling the steam. He raised the cup to his lips, taking a tentative sip. The flavor, delicate yet complex, danced across his palate. Some whispered that the tea tree was a gift from the heavens. Section 3. The Legend of Bodhidharma, Tea and the Pursuit of Enlightenment. As we journey further into the world of tea, we encounter another captivating legend. This one originating in India, a land steeped in spirituality and ancient wisdom. This legend weaves together the threads of Buddhism, meditation, and the pursuit of enlightenment, painting a vivid picture of tea's profound impact on spiritual practices. Our story centers on Bodhidharma, an Indian monk who embarked on a pilgrimage to China in the 6th century CE, determined to spread the teachings of Buddhism. Legend has it that Bodhidharma, a man of unwavering dedication, vowed to meditate for 9 years without sleep, seeking to attain enlightenment. He retreated to a secluded cave, immersing himself in deep contemplation. Days turned into nights, seasons changed, and still, Bodhidharma remained steadfast in his practice, his resolve unwavering. However, as the years wore on, fatigue began to set in. His eyelids grew heavy, threatening to betray his vow. One day, as exhaustion threatened to overwhelm him, Bodhidharma, in a moment of frustration and determination, reached up and tore off his own eyelids, casting them to the ground. As the eyelids touched the earth, a miraculous transformation occurred. From the very spot where they landed, a new plant sprouted, its leaves a vibrant green, symbolizing life and vitality. I'm sure you've heard the news. Tea wasn't always the beloved beverage we know today. Section 4. From medicinal herb to beloved beverage, tea's evolution in early China. Tea consumption dates back to the Shang dynasty, around 1600 to 1046 BCE. Initially a medicinal herb, tea was reserved for the elite. Ancient texts highlight tea's healing properties. Over centuries, tea transitioned to a widely consumed beverage. By the Han dynasty, tea drinking was popular among the upper classes. Tea houses emerged, offering a place for intellectual discussions. The Tang dynasty saw tea culture blossom, embraced by all of society. The Tang dynasty, a period of unprecedented prosperity, witnessed tea ascend to new heights of popularity. Tea permeated all levels of society, from the emperor's court to humble homes. It became a unifying force, transcending social barriers. Tea houses multiplied, transforming into bustling social hubs. Imagine stepping into a Tang dynasty tea house, the air thick with the aroma of brewing tea. Poets and musicians entertained patrons, while merchants exchanged news over tea. The Tang emperors established vast tea plantations and policies to encourage tea production. Tea became an important commodity, traded along the Silk Road. I'm sure you've heard the news. Amidst this burgeoning tea culture, a figure emerged who would forever shape the way tea was perceived and consumed. Lu Yu, the patron saint of tea. Lu Yu dedicated his life to unraveling the mysteries of tea, meticulously documenting his knowledge in the classic of tea. Completed in 780 CE, it covered every aspect of tea, from cultivation to brewing methods. He described the ideal water temperature, the importance of fresh leaves, and proper tea etiquette. Lu Yu's classic of tea became the definitive guide, shaping tea culture for centuries. I bet you didn't know how tea culture in Japan began. As tea culture flourished in China, it began to take root in Japan, carried by Buddhist monks. Tea enhanced meditation and calm focus, leading monks to plant tea seeds in Japan. Tea found a natural home in Japan, deeply intertwined with Zen Buddhism. Tea ceremonies evolved into spiritual practices, emphasizing presence and simplicity. The tea room became a sanctuary, fostering mindfulness and appreciation. Tea and Zen, a harmonious pairing, continue to inspire tea lovers worldwide. Central to the Japanese tea ceremony is matcha, a vibrant green tea powder enjoyed for centuries. Unlike other teas, matcha is whisked directly into water, creating a frothy emerald green beverage. Only the finest tea leaves, shaded from the sun, are selected for matcha. These leaves are steamed, dried, and ground into a fine powder using granite stone mills. The act of preparing matcha is a sensory experience. The vibrant green powder, its aroma reminiscent of fresh grass, is carefully measured into a bowl. Hot water is added, and then, using a bamboo whisk, the tea is whisked into a frothy, jade-coloured elixir. The first sip of matcha is a revelation. The initial bitterness gives way to a lingering sweetness, accompanied by a sense of calm focus. The caffeine in matcha provides a sustained energy boost without the jitters. Matcha, with its unique flavour profile and health benefits, has captivated tea lovers worldwide. Its rich cultural significance transcends its traditional role in the Japanese tea ceremony. While matcha was the main tea in Japanese ceremonies, sencha appeared in the 18th century and changed how people drank tea in Japan. Sencha, which means steamed tea, has a fresh taste and light smell. In 1738, tea merchant Soen Nagatani created a new way to process green tea. Instead of grinding the leaves into powder, Nagatani steamed, rolled and dried them. This kept the tea's fresh taste and smell, making sencha very popular. Sencha quickly became Japan's most popular tea. Unlike the formal matcha tea ceremony, sencha is enjoyed in a more relaxed way. Its fresh taste makes it good for meals, quiet moments, or chatting with friends. The rise of sencha changed Japanese tea culture. It made enjoying tea easier and more enjoyable for everyone. For centuries, the Western world remained oblivious to tea, unaware of the ancient traditions and exquisite flavors of the East. The vast expanse of Asia served as a formidable barrier, separating East from West. Whispers of a remarkable beverage began to filter through, carried by trade and exploration. Tales told by travelers spoke of a plant revered in the East, its leaves transformed into a magical elixir. These tantalizing glimpses sparked curiosity in European explorers, merchants and adventurers. The allure of the East, with its promise of riches and exotic spices, captivated the Western imagination. Whispers of tea added a new layer of intrigue, a desire to experience this legendary beverage. As the age of exploration dawned, European ships set sail for the East. They navigated treacherous seas, driven by a desire to forge new trade routes. The quest for tea became a symbol of the Western world's thirst for discovery. Tea began its long journey westward along ancient trade routes crisscrossing Asia. Caravans laden with treasures traversed the Silk Road, a network of paths through mountains and deserts. Imagine a camel caravan, silhouetted against the setting sun, making its way across the Gobi Desert. The air, thick with dust and the scent of exotic spices, carries the faint aroma of tea. From the markets of Samarkand to Constantinople, tea began to appear, its reputation preceding it. Merchants traded precious goods for chests of tea, its value increasing with every mile. European ships reached the shores of China and Japan, opening a new chapter in tea's journey. Portuguese sailors, the first Europeans to trade with China, returned with tales of tea's remarkable properties. Tea, once a whispered legend, was now making its way to Europe. Its arrival heralded a new era in the history of this beloved beverage. The first chests of tea to reach European shores were greeted with curiosity and skepticism. This exotic beverage, with its unfamiliar aroma and bitter taste, was a far cry from European drinks. Yet the allure of the Orient proved irresistible. Tea, initially a luxury for the wealthy, began to appear in European royal courts. It was presented as a gift, adding an air of intrigue to royal gatherings. Catherine of Braganza, a Portuguese princess, popularized tea among the English aristocracy. Her love for tea set a trend among the English elite. Tea drinking became a fashionable pastime, a symbol of refinement. Royal courts hosted elaborate tea parties where guests sipped tea from delicate porcelain cups. As tea's popularity spread, so did the demand for teaware and accessories. Delicate teacups, silver teapots, and intricately carved tea caddies became coveted possessions. Tea became a symbol of refined taste and worldliness. Initially, tea's high cost meant it was reserved for the upper classes. As trade routes expanded, the price declined, making tea accessible to a wider audience. Tea houses began to spring up in major European cities, offering an affordable way to experience tea. These establishments, adorned with oriental decorations, attracted a diverse clientele. Tea, with its stimulating properties, became a popular alternative to alcoholic beverages. It provided an energy boost during long working hours and fostered a sense of community. Tea parties became popular among middle-class women, providing an opportunity to gather and socialize. Tea transformed from an exotic elixir into a beloved beverage embraced by European society. Its arrival heralded a new era of social customs and cultural exchange. Tea houses became centers of social interaction and news sharing. The rise of tea also had a profound impact on women's social lives. Tea's journey westward transformed it into a symbol of globalization and cultural exchange. The British East India Company emerged as a powerful force, shaping the global tea trade. Founded in 1600, the company began as a venture in the spice trade. Their ambitions extended to a vast empire and a monopoly on tea. Backed by the British Crown, the company secured exclusive trading rights in the East Indies. These outposts became the company's strongholds, amassing vast fortunes. The company's ships, laden with treasures, sailed back to England. The company's success transformed London into a global trading hub. The company's rise to power was fueled by ambition and a keen understanding of global trade. As tea consumption soared in England, the British East India Company expanded its empire. Tea had become a national obsession, cutting across all levels of society. The company secured a monopoly on the tea trade. They leveraged their political and military might to secure exclusive agreements with Chinese tea producers. The company's ships became a familiar sight in Chinese ports. This monopoly had profound consequences for the company and global power. The company's coffers swelled with profits, extending their influence. This wealth fueled the expansion of the British Empire. However, the company's monopoly sowed seeds of discontent. European rivals chafed at the company's dominance. In England, merchants and consumers questioned the high prices and limited choices. The British East India Company's grip on the tea trade faced challenges. As the company's power grew, so did the resentment it faced. In India, local rulers staged rebellions, challenging the company's authority. The company responded with brutal force, consolidating its control. The company's actions transformed it into a de facto ruling power. In England, voices questioned the company's monopoly and its impact on free trade. Merchants lobbied Parliament for an end to the company's exclusive rights. Consumers sought alternatives, fueling a black market for smuggled tea. The company's monopoly faced challenges from within and beyond its borders. The British East India Company sought to establish tea plantations in India. India offered the possibility of cultivating tea on a scale to rival China. The company's botanists searched for suitable regions for tea cultivation. They experimented with different tea varieties, facing immense challenges. In Darjeeling, the company's efforts bore fruit. The cool, misty climate and fertile soils proved ideal for tea cultivation. Darjeeling tea captivated tea connoisseurs with its distinctive flavour. The discovery of tea in Darjeeling marked a turning point. It opened a new frontier for tea production. India became a tea-producing powerhouse, challenging China's dominance. The British East India Company's grip on the tea trade faced its most dramatic challenge in colonial Boston. The year is 1773. Tensions between Great Britain and its American colonies are reaching a boiling point. Tea became a potent symbol of this struggle. The British Parliament passed the Tea Act, granting the company a monopoly on tea sales to the colonies. The colonists saw the Tea Act as a direct assault on their liberties. Protests erupted in port cities across the colonies. On a cold December night in Boston, colonists boarded 3 British East India Company ships. They tossed 342 chests of tea into the harbour. This act of defiance sent a clear message to Great Britain. The colonies would not be bullied into submission. The Boston Tea Party ignited a revolution, changing the course of history. The Empire strikes back. The British East India Company seeks to salvage its dominance. The Boston Tea Party, a dramatic act of defiance that stunned the British Empire, marked a turning point in the relationship between Great Britain and its American colonies. The British government, outraged by the colonists' audacity, responded with a series of punitive measures, known as the Coercive Acts, designed to reassert control over the rebellious colonies. These acts, which included the closure of Boston Harbor, the imposition of martial law in Massachusetts, and the quartering of British troops in colonial homes, only served to further inflame tensions, pushing the colonies closer to the brink of revolution. The British East India Company, its ships and cargo at the heart of the conflict, found itself caught in the crossfire. The company, once a symbol of British economic might, became a target of colonial anger and resentment. Its once lucrative tea trade with the colonies ground to a halt, its ships blockaded in harbours, its profits plummeting. Despite these setbacks, the British East India Company, accustomed to weathering storms, was not prepared to relinquish its dominance without a fight. The company, with the backing of the British government, sought to crush the colonial rebellion, deploying troops and resources in a desperate attempt to salvage its empire. You need to hear this if you're a tea enthusiast. Section 3. A new era dawns, the rise of independent tea traders, and the expansion of tea choices. The American Revolution reshaped the global tea trade. The United States, free from British monopoly, sought direct trade with China. Independent tea traders emerged, sparking competition and innovation. Tea prices declined, making it accessible to more consumers. New and exotic blends satisfied growing demand. This era's legacy lives on in today's diverse tea market. I bet you didn't know the fascinating journey of tea from tea bags to iced tea. In the 19th century, tea became a beloved global beverage, but the journey of tea was far from over. The tea bag revolutionized tea consumption. It promised a perfectly portioned cup, ready in an instant. In 1904, iced tea was born at the St. Louis World's Fair. An enterprising vendor added ice to his unsold tea. I bet you didn't know how diverse the world of tea is today. Exploring the diverse world of tea today. The world of tea today is a testament to innovation, exploration, and cultural exchange. From Assam, India to Uji, Japan, tea offers a world of flavors and aromas. Black tea, with its robust flavor, remains the most popular type worldwide. Green tea, prized for its delicate flavor and health benefits, has gained immense popularity. The world of tea extends far beyond these classic varieties. Herbal infusions, caffeine-free and bursting with flavor, offer endless possibilities.